Let me guess, you're always someone looking for more club head speed in your golf swing, or you're just one of the shortest hitters in your group. It's so frustrating, I get this all the time, from in-person lessons, online skilless lessons, and general inquiries. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking this down into 3 simple steps to help you consistently build more club head speed into your golf game. For those of you who are new, my name is Harry, PGA golf professional, helping golfers transform their games one shot at a time. So make sure you drop a comment down below with a video you'd like to see next, and hit the subscribe button if you take on these tips and drills that I advise in this video. Breaking this down into 3 stages, the first one being what is holding you back from generating more club head speed into your golf swing. The second one, easy and simple tweaks we can use to generate this club head speed. And the third one is the consistency side of things. How can we consistently build this up? What routine can we get ourselves into every day, every week, every month to help you build this club head speed up that you're looking for? It takes a lot of practice, discipline, a lot of hard work to do this. It doesn't just come overnight. Diving into the first one, what is stopping you? What could be stopping you from building more club head speed into your golf swing, no matter your age or ability? The 2 things that I see so common, probably 95% of the golfers that come and see me struggling with this issue, is the all-round posture and setup position, as well as keeping their head down throughout their entire swing. Okay, so I'll see a lot of golfers, I'll set up to the golf ball, they're very much internally rotated, where the arms are coming very close to the body, where the feet are very narrow, very close, very toe pointed inwards like this here, rounded back, ready to hit this golf ball. Now, looking at this straight away, it doesn't look very athletic. It doesn't look like the golfer's physically ready to hit this golf ball, and they're not. They're not giving themselves the room to be able to wind up and wind down in the golf swing and build this club head speed up throughout this phase as well. They're pretty much like this here, struggling to make a full swing. The thought of keeping the head down like this doesn't help, and it stops them from rotating and turning, twisting in the golf swing. So they'll just swing too short, then have to bend their arms, bring their hands too close to the body to complete that backswing. So we're loading the swing up with the arms, and how fast do you think we can use the arms then to swing the club back down from this position here? Well, not very quick at all compared to getting this body turning and rotating throughout our swing. So let's make sure we're setting ourselves in the correct position. I'm just going to talk you through a quick posture routine that I'd like you to copy. Stand up for me now and do this, and just see if you can set yourself in the correct position. You don't need a club for this. If you can find a long stick or anything that you use to practice with at home, then give this a go. So we're going to be standing in a nice straight line, feet together just to begin with. Club is going to go across the shoulders. I've just got it underneath the mic here just to make sure I don't touch it and then affect the noise. So from here, we're just going to take our feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. This is great for the irons, for the driver. If this feels a little bit too narrow for you, you can go a little bit further, like so. From here, we're just going to flex the knees a little bit. Then we're going to flare the feet out, okay? Flaring the feet out helps us, allow us to just get this more added rotation into the swing back and forth, and also helps us keep in balance whilst doing this. From this position here, this is the key now. We're set up in this position here, very much vertical to the ground with the spine angle. We've got to get this tilt taking place. So getting this tilt taking place, the feeling for me when I do this is my hips and my glutes are being pushed back from my belt buckle here towards the wall behind me. You can see that I'm not hunching over doing this. I'm really forcing the glutes, the hips to go back from me pushing on my belt buckle here. Now, some of you will struggle with this. You'll find it quite difficult to tilt over and keep your upper back straight. So if you are one of those golfers that struggles with this, take the club and place it over your shoulders and then do this, and you'll be able to feel a little bit of a stretch taking place in the upper back. Now, it's going to be quite tricky to get used to doing this, but I can guarantee once you get used to doing this after a couple of posture routines, going through this little stage, then you're going to find it much easier at the setup, because you're going to see the difference just in a sec. So we've got the club either around our shoulders or in front of our shoulders here, tilted in this position here, and then we're just going to end off with the club coming out in front of us and allowing it to drop towards the floor. So you can see there, plenty of room, very much so externally rotated. Looks like I'm very much opened up, ready to hit this golf ball, as opposed to internally rotated, just like this here. This may be the wrong terminology, but I'm just thinking internal, everything's going towards the body. External, everything's away from the body. And that's the key. We're just got to get everything free flowing a little bit more rather than getting too close and stuck like we were doing. To finish this off as a little bonus to this first part, this first stage, rather than when you set yourself in this more athletic position here, we don't want our head to be facing down. We want our head to be nice and upwards, not too far upwards like this here, almost on the same angle as your spine angle here. Nice and relaxed, just looking at the golf ball, but not forcing the head down like so, as that's going to limit this turn that we can create in the swing as mentioned before. And that brings us on to the second stage, the second part of this video, talking to you about how we can generate more club head speed into our golf swing. And this is all to do dead simply with the rotation and turn that we can build into the swing. So we've just spoken about the posture and setup then and how this limits the turn into the backswing, this loading and then offloading through the shot. Now we can start to build this up, but the question is how? So to begin with, we want to be taking the club away and placing our hands either side of our thighs like so. Set up, imagining that you're going to go through that routine, okay? So feet together, taking them slightly wider than shoulder width apart, feet flared out, flex knees, tilting over, then you can just from there place the hands either side of your thighs. So just ensuring that you set yourself into this new posture and setup position, ready to hit this golf ball. Ready to hit this golf ball, obviously I'm not going to hit it just yet. So I've got the hands either side like so, and the first thing that I'm going to be doing from this position here is I'm just going to be ensuring that my trail hip, my right hip is going to be pushing away from the golf ball. I see too many golfers, they'll get this almost lateral shift with the hips, tilting this way instead. We've got to get them turning and twisting away from the golf ball like this here. And you can see what that does already when I do this to my upper back. It forces that back to twist and rotate and get it facing towards our target, the net here being at the indoor facility. So as I'm rotating like this here, you can also see that I'm allowing this trail hand just to roll up my right thigh, just like this here. At the same time, that's going to force my left hand down the left thigh. And just doing this action, this twisting motion back and forth, I'm not forcing too much weight to be transferred onto this trail side. I'm just ensuring that I'm getting this rotation instead. So feeling like someone's pushing on that right hip to force now this right glute of mine, the right hip as well, to go towards the wall behind us. So to get the follow through stage, we're just going to do the opposite. We're going to get this lead hip, the left hip of ours, to go away from that golf ball. And now you're thinking, well, usually we would want a little bit of a shift forward and then get this twist, but you're more likely to get this shift forward anyway. So it's something you don't necessarily need to think about. It's literally just you twisting back, using the right hip, and twisting through from the left hip here. You can see I'm almost basically shifting forward ever so slightly to do this action as opposed to forcing it to take place. If we force it, it's not going to be great for the angle of attack, especially when it comes to doing this with the driver swings. So I don't want to overcomplicate this too much. All we're thinking here is right hip back, left hip back, and then from here, my right hand's going up the right thigh on the backswing, down the right thigh on the follow through, left hand's going down the left thigh on the way back and then up the left thigh on the way through. Simple as that. Then what you'll notice as well when doing this, that it'll almost feel like your head's moving ever so slightly either side of the center point. And a lot of people worry about the head moving in the golf swing, and this is absolutely fine. The head has to move a little bit just to ensure we get this rotation and turn taking place. So it's either side, just allowing this head to naturally turn with the body as opposed to staying down and making it difficult for us to get this turn taking place. And before I show you what this looks like with the golf club, I'm going to show you another thing that we can do in our swing. Anyone can do now just to help us build this club head speed into our swings. And then we're going to be looking at obviously how to swing it in the next section. So the second thing that all of us golfers can do, no matter our age and ability, again, okay, this applies to every single golfer out there, is being able to use the ground reaction forces in our golf swing. So what I mean by ground reaction forces is that, well, the only part of our body that is connected to the ground is our feet. So we've got to be utilizing this source of power to our advantage, and how we do this is through ground reaction forces. So for every force acting on a stationary object, there's always an equal and opposite force taking place. A good example is when you go and make a squat jump. To jump upwards, you've got to go down first. And that's how we get that power, that force taking place to push us back up. If we just try to jump with no force taking place going down, we can't physically do it. So imagine how much more speed we could generate, more power we could generate if we utilize this motion correctly in the golf swing. So setting yourself up in this same routine, this same setup position here, okay? Doing this with the hands back on either side of the thighs. We're twisting up to the top of the backswing with this trail hip and right hand like so. What I want you to do is when you get to the top of your swing, I want you to take a little bit more time just to allow yourself to press into the ground like this here. We're not going to immediately force, okay, this pressure to take place in the downswing and get this rotation taking place, because that can encourage us just to lean back ever so slightly, and that's not going to be great for the actual contact when it comes to doing this with the golf club. So we're going to get to the top of our swing. We're going to delay this body turn, this first turn, this left hip firing away from the golf ball, and we're just going to allow ourselves to press into the ground, and then we're going to push back upwards to encourage more of this twist, this rotation from this left hip, okay? And you can see there we can start to build this into a nice little drill for you. We can, obviously we've got this twisting motion either side, but then we can start to build in this press and push. So it's twist up to the top, we're going to press and push and twist on the way through at the same time. Doing this a couple more times, really getting used to this in stages, and then we can start to build this up in one motion. Nice and slow. Rotate and twist, press, push. So it's rotate and twist, press, push. And the more we press down in the swing when it comes hitting more shots, the more we're going to want to push back up. So the more we push back up, the more power, the more speed we can generate in our golf swings. However, when it comes to doing this in stages and going into full motion, you're not going to get the very best out of doing this motion, the actual golf swing itself, if you're still going to be swinging with the arms. So the key to this that I want you to remember is when you begin taking a club and making a couple of swings, practicing this all in one motion, you've got to allow the arms just to do whatever they want in the swing. Sounds daft, but just imagine this here, okay? If we're making a swing now, just like we did before, I mentioned in part one of this video, stage one of this video, was that if we're doing a swing just with the arms, I'm going to do it in the new setup now instead, just with the arms back and forth, yeah, I can get a little bit of speed out of that, but if I go really quickly with the body doing this motion, keeping my arms nice and relaxed, look how much speed I can create. A lot more. A lot more. Probably double the amount of speed. Okay, without a golf ball, so probably another 25% faster when it comes to hitting a golf ball. And one of the main reasons why this is the case is that a good example is if I was to bring the club out in front of you like this here and you were stood right here in the way, okay, and I've already made a couple of swings back and forth going as quick as I can doing this motion here, almost like a baseball swing, very much so lateral like this here, and you stand right in front of me here and I swing back and forth, what am I going to do last minute? I'm going to force myself to stop before I hit you, right? Well, in order for me to do this, what have I got to do? Just give us a try now if you can in your back garden and just let me know and comment down below, let me know what you think of this. As soon as you make your backswing and come through and have to stop, this is all caused by tension. So tension slows you down, which is why a lot of you, when you swing with the arms, well, this is making your arms get very tense. So tension is going to slow you down. It's going to make things very difficult for you to hit the golf ball at speed. And this brings us into the third part of the video. We've got this set up and addressed that was stopping us from swinging faster. Now we understand how we can swing faster. How can we build this up and consistently build this club head speed into your golf game? And the key I want you to remember from this section is that small but consistent will always beat big and inconsistent. So when I say small and consistent, I mean doing small sessions every single week is going to beat one massive session every single month. If we can gradually build in this discipline and continue to get into this sort of routine where we can have a speed session, go to the range a couple of times, and then start to work on this, hone in on this, then you're going to see much better results doing this. And I used to do a lot of speed training, and when I built this up, I was only doing one speed session every single week. And the reason was this allowed me to get the maximum results possible and give myself, my brain, and my body, my physical body, enough time to recover from this, because I was really going for it, but on a very small amount of shots. Rather than going big and hitting and swinging so many shots, 20, 30, 40 shots, why not try 5 to 10, but absolutely giving it your very best. So before we bring this in, I'd highly recommend getting yourself a launch monitor to be able to track this, one in particular being a speed launch radar. You can get some of these on Golf Swing Systems. I'll drop a link in the description below later on for that. But the one I used a couple of years ago when I really took speed training seriously was called the Swing Speed Radar. I'm pretty sure they're around £129, so probably around the $140 mark, I'm going to guess, for the best one. And simply these swing speed radars, I've not got it on, but you put the batteries in at the back and you place it down pretty much about a club and a half's length away from the golf ball, just like this here. And what that's going to allow you to do now is whether you make a practice swing or a swing hitting the golf ball, it will always measure how fast you've swung it. Yeah, it may not be as consistent as a much better launch monitor in terms of price, but at least it's giving you some data. At least it's giving you some data to work off when you're making these swings, when you're doing this speed training as well. So for the speed sessions, you want to be looking at getting yourself something called a speed stick. So you can get these from Golf Swing Systems. Again, I'll drop a comment in the description below with the links to take you straight to their page full of the speed sticks that you can take a look at and see which one would suit you. This one I've got right here is called the Handy Speed Stick. Now you can't get these, I don't think, anymore. I've had this one for quite a few years now, but there's very much so similar ones out there on the market where simply you've got 3 weights. Save you getting the 3 sticks, you can get yourself one club for a third of the price with all 3 weights on. And there's a few options on there that you can take a look at. And if you're struggling to find which one you think would suit you, drop a comment down below and I will reveal my favorite one that will suit you. So all you can do is obviously screw the weights out and place them back in, and that gives you sort of flexibility with practicing this with the lighter weight, the medium weight and the heavy weight. The lighter weight is going to be much lighter than the golf club. The medium weight added to it is going to be a similar weight to a driver, and then the heavier weight as well is going to be heavier than a driver. So you can obviously practice this at different weights, different speeds, and then track these using something like a swing speed radar for your golf game. So yeah, you can get those Golf Swing Systems radars, speed monitors and the sticks from Golf Swing Systems, but you can also get a brand new golf club from GX Golf, which is actually the new sponsor to the YouTube channel. And I've been working with GX Golf for the last couple of months because they produce high quality golf clubs for a very much so fraction of the price. So if you're looking for high quality premium leather Cabretta gloves, then I'd certainly recommend checking out their site. Again, link in the description below, and you can use this discount code below, Harry10, to get yourself another whopping 10% off those gloves. So what I would tend to do to begin with, I would just get myself warmed up doing a couple of stretches. Now I'm not going to be doing these in this video here. I'm going to leave a link in the description below with a warm-up routine that I would go through different exercises to help me get myself warmed up, ready to go and begin this swing speed training. You can take a look at that up here as well, but I'll leave it in the description below as well. Once we've done the warm-up, we've got the radar out, we're ready to make a few swings. I'd start off by just gradually building up the speed. Now again, we've not done that many swings with this new posture and setup, with this new turn taking place in our swing. So I just want you to make a couple of swings nice and slow, okay? Within yourself, relaxing the arms, just allowing this rotation, this turn to take place. So we're getting the right hip back, we're pressing down, and then we're pushing back up. And then we're just going again, nice and smooth. Back, down, push up like so. Okay, and again, the key is to stay relaxed with the arms and let the body take over. Let the lower body take over and get this pressure, this power taking place in your swing. Then we can start to just gradually build this up in stages. So think of that one then as 50% of what your maximum swing speed would look like, your club head speed would look like. Then you can build this up in 10%. You can go 60, 70, 80 once you feel warmed up enough. And then, to begin with, you're going to be using the heaviest weight like this here. This is what I would always start off with, because the heaviest weight is obviously the hardest to swing faster. Okay? And I would just do simply 5 to 10 swings as fast as I possibly can. And when I do this as fast as I possibly can, all I'm thinking is I'm trying to swing faster. Okay, I'm trying to get this club to swing faster as opposed to hitting the ball harder. Hitting the ball harder makes you think, right, arms come into play and get this tension taking place. So we've just got to think the opposite. We've got to allow this club to really fire on the way through. So it's really encouraging this squat and push to take place as opposed to forcing those hands to get too involved during that downswing phase. And then once you've done 5 to 10 swings doing this, and the reason why I've not given you an exact number is that when you're tracking this with the speed monitor, if you see your country best after 3 or 4 swings at, for example, 100 miles an hour, but then the 8th or 9th one drops down to 70 miles an hour, you need to stop. Give yourself a couple of seconds, then bring it back in using the mid weights. So we're going to be taking the heaviest weight off, and we're just going to be simply doing the exact same thing. To 5 to 10 swings, just doing this exact same motion, back down and swing through. Keep going, really force this action to take place with the lower body. The more the lower body gets switched on throughout the swing, the faster you're going to be able to swing the club. I can guarantee it. Give this a try, and obviously when you're checking on the monitors, when you give this a try, test it. See what you think. If you make a swing using the arms, I can guarantee it's going to be much slower than using the body and relaxing the arms again. So I'm not going to repeat that one more time. It's just so important that you get that bit right. So remember that when you're making these swings. Relax the arms, swing quick. So once you've done that, then we can start to bring in the lighter weight. We can take this medium weight off and do a couple of swings of the lighter weight. Now it's going to feel really weird. I can guarantee that, because this is so much lighter than a golf club, and you'll be able to see how much quicker I can swing it. A lot quicker, right? So you want to just get used to, obviously, the light weight. We've gone from heavy, medium to light. Okay, you're going to do 5 to 10 again. And if you find from there that after 3 or 4 swings, your speed drops massively, stop again. Have another break, or if you can, keep going up until 10, great. As soon as it goes below around 90% of what your maximum club head speed was, so I would judge it by the first 3 shots. What was the maximum? Take note of it quickly, then come back and swing as fast as you can, trying to beat that. And if it goes below 10, 15%, that's when you want to be stopping, walking away, and then moving on to the next bit. So the next bit now, we're going to be taking this weight back on and using this mid weight like so. So that's just going to take me a bit to screw. There we go, that was better than I thought. Then again, we're going to be doing 5 to 10, back and forth as quick as we can. So it's really giving this a go with that lower body, switching it on and swing through. Then for the final one, the final session, is just simply taking this final weight on and doing the same thing again. Because we've gone from heavy, medium to light, to then going medium to heavy again, it's going to feel really heavy at the club head end. So you're really trying to force this weight through like so. Once you've done them, you've clearly done, in my opinion, from doing this, plenty of swings to call that a day. To call that a day for speed sessions. If you'd like to learn more about this, I'll leave a video in the description below where I challenged myself to see if I could hit the ball 400 yards. So you may as well give that a check out later on as well. And I talk a lot about this and what I exactly did to help me get to where I needed to be. So I won't reveal whether I managed to do it or not, but make sure you check it out later on as well. So after doing those speeds, I'd highly recommend sticking to one speed session. I used to do it every single Monday at the start of the week, so that anything else, I could just take it easy, do some practice, play, and then bring it back in on the Monday and go again. But if you're finding that after a couple of weeks, you're keeping track of this, using the launch monitor, checking out your best club head speeds, using the heavy, mid and light weighted stick, and you're struggling to swing quicker, then I would maybe add in another speed session. But for example, if it's going to be on a Monday, the next one needs to be a Thursday. You need to give yourself at least 2 to 3 days of rest. And obviously you can do a bit of practice in between if you wanted to go to the range, but don't push yourself to the limits. And then obviously after a couple of weeks, once you've done this, you can take this to the driving range and then start to utilize this with the club. Obviously you can do a few really quick swings doing this in the speed training as well if you wanted to at the end. Rather than doing it with the heaviest weight, you can do it with the driver as well. And the same thing applies. It's going to feel a little bit lighter for me because I've just come from that heavier weighted stick, but I'm just going to hit a shot at the end and see how fast I can swing the club. Bearing in mind a couple of years ago I was on around 110, 150 to 115 miles an hour at best. Now I'm able to swing well over 120 miles an hour every single time, really without fail. But once I'm fully warmed up, and I'm not fully warmed up, but let's see how fast I can swing this one. Okay, really feeling that turn, press down, up, and allowing the arms stay relaxed. Let's go. Oh, a little bit heely. Not too sure how fast I swung that one. Let's have a look. Club head speed of 123.5 miles an hour. And that's me trying to swing quick, get this club head speed, get this press and turn taking place. But obviously I'm not fully warmed up at all, and my back's aching actually after that one, so I'm not going to hit any more shots. So if you've enjoyed this video and come this far, I'd highly recommend hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content coming out every Tuesday and Friday. And if you're looking for that warm-up video, which is up here for you to check out what you should be doing before conducting these speed sessions, and if you wanted to be learning a little bit more about my race to 400 yards, you can click in the bottom right-hand corner there on that video. For any more advice, feel free to comment down below and I'll be happy to answer any questions necessary. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.